Get up and act now before it is too late. Iyamifa is alleged to have warned Ooni of Ife and Ropo. Okay, I'm sure you heard me well. Okay, going by all the situation that Queen Naomi has been going through, which I really don't want to go about because each time I talk about the pains and the agony she's going through, I feel like really, really, crying even as a man. Okay, so I wouldn't go into all that, but I'm reporting to you right now that what is coming out allegedly right now is that Iyamifa, of course, you know Iyamifa very well. She has spoken out again and again and again, and this time she is saying to the Ooni of Ife directly, get up and act now before it is too late. And this is a warning, according to the report that is already making the rounds in the social media. So, according to this story, Yanifa was said to have given this warning because she said the enemy's plan, was to get rid of Queen Naomi from getting close to the throne for a very, very long time. Of course, you and I have always known this, right from the time she entered the palace, even as a young lady. The plot has always been there, by virtue of the fact that she came in as a young prophetess, which is in sharp contrast, to the Ifa worship that is being predominantly the practice in the palace. So it is not something that is happening today. So Iyamifa is saying that look, the plan is, of course, you all know that the original plan was to even buy their enemy. That didn't work. So Iyamifa is saying, look, the plan now is to get this woman out of the way completely for a very, very, very long time. Okay, a situation which, if allowed, according to Yamifa, this may spell doom for Kabiesi and the throne. Wow. I'm really, I don't know Yamifa to just talk anyhow. She always talk out of a place of concern. And I'm surprised this is one of those kind of movement. And I believe that our dear Kabiesi will be listening with keen interest, as she's saying this. She went further to say this fight was just not about Queen Naomi alone. I agree with this. I've always said this in different forums, that this fight is not all about Queen Naomi. Okay? So Yamifa was said to have, lectured everyone who cared to listen, about Queen Naomi's problem and how it started almost at the very early stage of her marriage, with her coming in, into the palace as a prophetess filled with so much grace and special aura which enveloped the couple and the entire palace at that time. I'm sure those of you who are keen followers of Queen Naomi stories or Ooni of Ife's palace stories, this very one will resonate with you a lot. Okay, so of course, this of course never went well with the traditionalists. Just seeing that the young lady is coming in with so much grace, with so much, with a very big aura for that matter. Despite the fact that she looked naive, she looked innocent, but she was carrying that grace and heavy aura that was so palpable for all to see. Okay, this, as it was alleged, never went well with with those who were practicing the traditional those who were traditionalists, and of course you had majority of them in the palace at that time. Okay, so by calling Queen Naomi coming in as a prophetess, she was already marked out, of course, because when she's coming, someone who is coming in as a prophetess, coming to a place where all they know how to do best is to worship traditional worship. That is a sharp contrast, and it was like a battle that started right from day one. Okay, but despite the early setback, that she had, she continued to serve as a spiritual covering, for her husband, and the entire palace at the time she was right there. Okay, and this showed through. For those of you who are keen followers, again, I'm sure you remember that at the time she was there, that was when we had the. That was the time the palace was very peaceful. That's it has all the paraphernalia, of I mean decorum, I mean the charm and everything was there, and a lot of people still refer back to that time that she was there, and they kind of miss it, including a lot of Ileife women and the youths. Okay, so according to Iyamifa, the current battle, leading to the Ibadan unfortunate stampede, I mean, was orchestrated from many fronts, with its fulcrum of attention on the do or die desire, to do everything for Queen Naomi never to return back to the palace. Of course, we've spoken about this at length in different fora, and we are not surprised that Yamifa, I mean, is here repeating the same thing all over again. Okay, so that was why the first task, was to buy their enemy. Of course, you already know that that was their first target. They wanted to buy their enemy, but when they failed, they turned their evil eyes, on her son, okay, her innocent son, who apparently is even super fortified than Queen Naomi. I always tell people that, look, when you see kids that were born with dreadlocks from birth, always, I mean, be very careful with those kids, because those are special kids. So she already, Tadedika obviously already is fortified, by virtue of who he is as a person, and together with the fortification coming from the mother. So I mean, so he's double fortified, So they tried that side, it didn't work. Of course, it will not work. So when all that failed, then came the invocation, of the spiritual Iroko tree, which was alleged to have been unleashed on Islamic High School on the 18th of December, resulting in the dying of about 35 children. Okay, I don't want to bore you guys with this, but like I always say, if this story that is coming out at this time is true, then I don't think it's too far from what we've always known and what we have always reported. It's just that this time around, it is coming from the great Iyamifa herself. And I want to say that I'm so glad that this is coming, excuse me, this is coming right from Iyamifa, and is giving it directly to our dear Kabiesi and Paropo. Okay? I know they respect Iyamifa very well, and that is why I'm saying that if this report that is coming out is true, then it's a very, very good one. Because for Iyamifa to be saying this directly to Kabiesi and Paropo, it means a lot. Because even if they were not having this information before, at least now they now know. And I trust that our dear Kabiesi, as usual, will not treat this with levity. And I also trust that Paropo, being the father of all and being one father who cares so much about Queen Naomi, will talk to the son, and hopefully we should be having some reactions, positive reactions, as soon as possible. And that is why Yamifa is not mincing words. He's saying, get up and act now before it is too late. Yamifa doesn't just talk like this. She was so blunt this time, saying, get up and act now before it is too late. I want to believe that it will never be too late as far as Queen Naomi is concerned. These people have heard this. Our dear Kabiesi and our dear Paropo has heard this. I want to believe that they will listen to the great Yamifa, just like we have always prayed for. Okay? So this is what is coming out at this time that is already making the rounds in the social media, and what we are doing here is just to bring it back to you, to reenact it in a way that make it so lucid, for your understanding. Okay, so should you enjoy this story, please go to the comment section and leave your comment. Okay, I'm going to be back soon. God bless you. Bye bye.